Alive, learning Torah. Of course, we're alive. Of course, we're alive. We're learning Torah. No greater form of life. Okay, folks, welcome to Rambam. We begin today the laws of Bikurim, the first fruits. Another agricultural gift. Chapter 1. The laws of the first fruits and other presents given to the Kohen, the priest, in outlying areas. They contain 9 mitzvahs, 8 positive commandments, and 1 negative. 1 second, let's let in. All righty. So what are they? To set aside the first fruit and bring them to Jerusalem. For the Kohen not to eat the first fruit outside of Jerusalem. To read the declaration when bringing them the first fruit. To separate challah and give it to the Kohen. That's dough from bread, right? To give the Kohen the foreleg, the jaw, and the maw of the animal slaughtered. To give him, the Kohen, the first shearings of one's flocks. Right? To redeem one's firstborn son and give the money to the Kohen. To redeem one's firstling donkey and give the lamb or kid to the Kohen. And the 9th is to behead a firstling donkey if one does not desire to redeem it. Okay. All right, let's go into the laws now. Okay. Halacha number 1. There are 24 presents. By the way, where did we learn this? You remember? In the law, in Parshas Korach. Just a couple of weeks ago, we learned it. After Korach and his henchmen, they confronted Moshe and Aaron to be divisive over the high priest position. It's at the end of that. So Hashem says, okay, these are the offerings. These are the things that will be gifted to the Kohanim and the Levites also, that what they get. We just learned that, right? We learned the tithes. Second tithes is yours, but the first tithe goes to Levite. Truma goes to the Kohen. And now we're going to speak about other gifts. Okay, so 24 presents were given to the Kohen. All of them are explicitly mentioned in the Torah. A covenant was established with Aaron over all of them, as we just said in Parshas Korach. Any Kohen who does not acknowledge them does not have a portion in the priesthood, and he is not given any of these presents. What does it mean to acknowledge? Oh, acknowledge your priestly service that you have to do. These are the gifts to give him in the stead of the priestly service. Okay, halacha number 2. Every kohen who partakes of one of the presents given to the kohanim that is sanctified should recite the blessing. Blessed are you who sanctified us with sanctity of Aaron, command us to partake of, mentioning the particular type of present he is eating. It could be truma, it could be bikurim, first fruits, right? 8 of the presents may be eaten by the kohanim only in the sanctuary, within the walls of the temple courtyard. 5 of them may be eaten only in Jerusalem, within the walls of the city, right? That's a little more expanded area. According to scriptural law, there are 5 presents that are acquired by the kohanim only in Eretz Yisrael. So we have, what do we have so far? We have 8, 5, and 5, right? 8 that are in the sanctuary, 5 that are in the city, the walled city of Jerusalem, and another 5 that are extended all the way within the borders of Israel. There are 5 presidents that require both in Eretz Yisrael and diaspora, and there is 1 president that they require it from the temple's property. Okay. What are the 8 that may be eaten only in the temple? The meat of the sin offering, right? We just spoke about the sin offering that's actually brought on Rosh Chodesh, right? But here means sin offering that an Israelite brings because of a sin that they transgressed, and they're bringing an offering, right? So the meat of sin offering, this includes both sin offering of fowl and sin offerings of animals, but the meat of a guilt offering, whether a definite guilt offering or a guilt offering brought because of a doubt, communal peace offerings, a portion of the Omer. I'm sorry, it's not a. Did I say but? Some but there. So guilt offering. Then we have Omer offering or peace offerings, Karban Shlamim. Omer offering, which is brought on the second day of Passover. That's when we start counting the Omer based on this, right? The portion of the Israelites' meat offering that remains. What offering is that? And 2 loaves offered on Shavuos, the showbread. Showbread is on the table in the holies. That is every week changed. The log of oil brought by the Mitzayra, the one who has a skin disease. All these may be eaten in the temple only. What are the 5 that are eaten only in Jerusalem? The breast and the leg of the peace offering. The portion granted to the Kohen from the Thanksgiving offering. Thanksgiving offering is like someone who was released from prison, right? They bring a Thanksgiving offering. Or a woman gave birth, right? So the portion that's granted to the Kohen, that can be eaten, again, anywhere in Jerusalem, the walled city, doesn't have to be by the sanctuary. The portion granted to the Kohen from the ram brought by the Nazarite, the firstborn of a kosher animal, and the first fruits, bikurim. All these may be eaten only in Jerusalem. What are the 5 that are given in Eretz Yisrael? Truma, right? Truma is the 2% from the produce, right? The first thing that a landowner gives. Truma's Meiser is the 10% that goes to the Meiser, that goes to the Levite. From there, the Levite gives 1%, 10%, which is 1% of the original field, to the Kohen. Challah. Challah is dough. That's a certain amount of dough that you give from it 40th to his 1/40th, 1/50th, or 1/60th of the dough you give to the Kohen. So what's the point over here? That dough could be eaten anywhere in Israel. The first shearings, the ancestral field that was consecrated, these are ordinary property. The Kohen are granted these according to scriptural law only in Eretz Yisrael. Trumas and chalas in Eretz Yisrael may be eaten only in Israel. Okay, what are the 5 that the Kohen acquire in all places, meaning even outside of Israel? The presents that were given when slaughtering animals, the money given for the redemption of the firstborn son. Right now, if you have a firstborn son, and you're not a Kohen or a Levite, you have to redeem him. And you have to give the money to the Kohen, the 5 silver coins, 5 shekel. The lamb given in redemption of the firstborn donkey, property stolen from a convert who died hair hairless, meaning without any heirs. Dedication offering. These 5 are ordinary property. They're ordinary to such a degree. The present that they acquire in the temple's property is the hides from the burnt offerings. This also applies to the hides of the other sacrifices in the most holy order. They're all given to the Kohen. The 8 presents that they may be eaten only in the sanctuary are all sacrifices of the most holy order. They may be eaten only by male priests, as will be explained in the appropriate places. Concerning them, it says, all males among the priesthood shall partake of it. The 5 presents that may be eaten only in Jerusalem are all sacrifices of lesser sanctity. Both males and females of the priestly family may partake of them. Concerning them, it says, to you, to your sons, your daughters, with who I have given them as an eternal decree. Although the women may partake of it, they are granted only to the males of the priestly family, for they are given to the men of the watch serving in the temple. They're granted only to the males of the priestly family. What does that mean?
What did you say? It's possible. They may be eaten only by male priests. Isn't that an update? I mean, all priests are male by definition, as opposed to males of the family of the priests. So why did it say male priests? The previous passage.
1 second. Well, here it's saying both males and females of the priestly family may partake of it, right? So it means a female who's part of the priestly family. So if her father was, if she lives in her father's home, so she's part of priestly family. If her father's a Kohen, if she was a Israelite, not a daughter of a Kohen, right? And she married a Kohen, so she's part of priestly family now, then she may eat from it.
I mean, what I'm referring to is it says they may be eaten only by male priests, as we explained in appropriate areas. But by definition of a priest is male.
So if you look at the Hebrew, kol zachar yechel, I say, it's not a precise translation. Every male shall eat it. Doesn't say every male kohen. Good point. Yeah, that's why the translation sometimes it's translating like contextually, but not precisely. Oh, okay. I understand what it means. What does it mean? The females can partake of it. They can only partake of it because it's given to the male in the watch of that week, right? Remember, there's 24 watches, meaning 24 different clans that come for the weekly service. Excuse me. For the weekly service that they stay for the week, the Kohen. At the end of that week, they're going to take stuff back home with them. That's how the females get to eat from it, because they're taking it from what was given to them during that watch, and now they're taking it back home. No, that's what I'm just saying that's what Rambam said. I'm just explaining the words. I wasn't clear on what the words meant. The fat and the blood of the firstborn of the kosher animals was offered, and only a male was allowed to offer it. Similarly, the hides and the sacrifices of the most sacred order, an ancestral field, dedication offerings, and stolen property of a convert are acquired only by the men of the priestly watch of that week, as will be explained. Okay. Similarly, the redemption of the firstborn sons is given only to the males of the priestly family. For concerning it, it says, "And you shall give the money to the Aaron and his sons." What did he add here that we didn't know before? Oh, maybe because it's ordinary. Maybe you would think that you don't have to give it to the man; you could give it to the woman. But the verse says, give it to Aaron and his sons." Right. Why? Because there isn't a holiness to the 5 shekel that you're giving to redeem your firstborn son. Right? And it can be done here in Montreal and anywhere, right? We have to do it. So there isn't a holiness to it. So you might think that therefore it could be given to a daughter of a Kohen or right? No, the verse says otherwise. So the redemption of firstborn donkey is given to males in the priestly family, for all Jews of the firstborn are parallel. Redemption is given to all males and not females. Okay. Now, okay, thus we have learned that the presents given directly to females, like males, are fine. Truma, the 2% of Truma's Meiser, the 10% of the 10%. Chala, presents are given when slaughtering an animal and the first shearlings. So these things were not given in the holy temple, right? Other things, like the holy sacrifices, they were done in the temple and they were given to the Kohen. Or if it was, other things that were given also in the holy temple that could be eaten in Jerusalem, and women could partake of it, but some things they could get it directly, like the things that we just mentioned. Was the source teaches us the first shearings may be given to women of the priestly family. The first of your grain, your wine, your oil, and the first shearings of your flock shall be you give to him. The verse establishes an equivalent. Just as Truma, the first grain may be given to females as well as males, so too for shearlings. How do you get it? They may be given to a woman. It says give to him. I'm confused. It doesn't say give it without saying it says to him. Okay, we're going to stop over here. All right, folks.